Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Factorio. In this one we're going to be doing some oil processing, which we unlocked in the last episode. I was kind of hoping to get around to this, but we just got caught up with making the train system over here, which was all good. And we take a look in this area, we got our oil next to our coal over here, and that's rather important. So somewhere around here we're going to be setting up an oil refinery to take in that oil to create petroleum, heavy oil and light oil. And then we're going to mix petroleum together with coal, and that makes plastic. So up in this area we can make plastic with one of these. We might end up having a few of them. And which one is it? There you go, plastics. Awesome. Right. Then we can ship plastics down into this area, and we're going to be making some advanced circuits, which are a component of these science packs. There are two more types of potion we're going to try and make in this episode that unlock the third tier of assembling machine that then means we can craft everything in the game without ever having to use anything in our inventory. At this point, I'd also like to remind you the goal of this base around here is just to provide us with materials for building a future base. So we're going to try and squeeze some more juice out of our setup and get it to produce these potions, which I think might be tough on our single belt right here. Anyway, in this area, I've been umming and ahhing about how to move some of these advanced circuits over, and I think what we're going to do is use this area here. We can have a filter inserter bring the advanced circuits across and then through over to this side. So that's terrific. We then have access to iron and copper. With the advanced circuits, the electronic circuits, we make the advanced ones with the plastic from up above. The copper down here can provide us with the copper coils on site, right? So we can do all of that. Then we've got to ship it in with an engine unit and electric mining drill to make this type of science potion. And those engine units will need to become electric as well. So here you can see that we've got to make pipes and steel on site. And then we're also going to need lubricant, which we can make with some of the materials from up above. So I believe that's going to be possible. Now, if we go into our research tree, I think we talked about it last episode. We're trying to stock about 400 of these types of potion to get to where we want to go. And we've also got to do this bit of research, which will give us the electric furnace, which uses steel, advanced circuits, and stone bricks. And then these potions right here need that, and the electric engine unit. So we're creating a facility now in this area for all of those different components. It is going to be a nightmare for me to figure out, but luckily for you, you can just sit back, relax, and you can see how this all comes together. So our first layout is pretty easy, although we're going to do something kind of interesting with it. So over here we've got our circuits and our copper production, and due to the speed it takes to make and the quantity, one of these will provide for 6 of those. So that's fantastic, and we've got all the ingredients on this side. What we're going to do with the output though is have the output and the input on the same belt. I'm just trying to make things like super compact and have fun with doing things different from now, or how I normally would. So plastic comes in on that side and the inserters drop off the output on the opposite side of the belt, so it can get its plastic coming in when we do that above, and then down here somewhere we're going to have to exchange it through the next challenge. Now, due to the ratios, this one being that it takes 6 seconds, so we have 6 machines, therefore 1 a second. Over here we only need 2 machines, right? So we've got a compact little thing right here, and the output's going to come out somewhere around here, and these are just markers for me thinking about what we need ahead. And what we do need are engine units. Am I getting this right? Yes. Thing is, these take 10 seconds, and then to create steel takes 17.5, wherever that is listed. So there's quite a lot of ratios to figure out, and we need to have steel in this area and iron as well. And this is where it's just starting to get really messy, but I'm hoping we can make something nice and compact again. So again, a reminder that it's fun and it's a challenge to try and squeeze things into a space like we're doing. And also we're trying to do this at a similar ratio to these potions. However, I've just realised the next level of potion requires us to take these engines and turn them into electric engines. So when we get to that potion, we're really just going to be stockpiling and the whole thing will slow down. But this bit has been an interesting challenge so far. What I've gone and done is I put in some steel furnaces, and notice how there is a belt to the side here. That is so that we can put items onto this side of the belt for now, but also so we can upgrade this in the future. What we're going to do right now, I'm sure many of you hate, is basically just put some coal in like this, because I didn't want to run a belt of coal through here. So that's literally what we're going to do, and then later on we upgrade it to electric, and it doesn't need any coal. So iron's going to come through this side, and I decided to go for 1 to 1, even though the ratio is more like 9 to 10. And then up the top here, that iron will then be taken... That's a barrel for some reason. That's supposed to be a pipe. And again, all we need is 1 pipe and 1 cog to supply all of these engine ones over here. So this will output that way, and this one will deliberately output like that, so it goes on the inside of the belt, because the output will be on the outside. And then that means we've got engines coming down here. We're going to have our electric miner drills and our advanced circuits. Those are all of the components of the science pack. But this takes 12 seconds to make, which I believe then means that we're going to need another 12 assembling machines here. And then we're going to need to send those potions down to this area. So we'll probably shift all of this up by 1 and have a second belt through here. Alright, things are happening, my friends. Check this out. I had to put this little setup in here so we could double the bandwidth going through. And there's our steel being put on one side of the belt. There's our pipes on the other. And the cogs have just finished backing up. So now, what we've got to do is put in all of these. That was kind of awkward because that one's in the way. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. These can go kind of wherever they need to be. Except down the bottom here, we actually want to put one right at the bottom, otherwise this one doesn't get involved in the equation. So that's how the last bit looks. These are now... Aha, I've missed something. I was going to say they're making them, but they're not. We need ones going in on this side. There are so many inserters here, I just want to quickly check that I've done it correctly. All of them are working. And then down here we've got the filter. So we have 2 of 3 parts ready now. We're actually going to jump onto the oil processing next because we need to get plastics down here. One thing to point out is that we're hobbling over the line here in the beginning a little bit. We can only have 1 of these, so there's no point setting up a proper array with the correct ratios for producing an optimal amount of plastic. That would just be pretty much pointless, and there isn't a spot between those two, so let's use 2 power cables. If I say the words the right way around, jeez, and then... You should have made plastic, and there you go. That one's going to deliver it so we can put it on this belt. Alright, the plastic makes its way down. It's getting picked up. Our advanced circuits are coming out, and down the end here I broke this because we're going to have plastic on this side, and basically I forgot that we need to put advanced circuits on here. Fantastic. Then they get aligned on the correct side of the belt, which they were technically already on. I don't know if I talked about this as well. This layout here has changed out just because I kind of made a mistake. We need to have these electronic circuits, and we're going to need them again in the future so they can continue on this way. I'm using the red underground belts because they go a little bit further than the yellow ones, if you didn't suss that out. But anyway, there are our 3 ingredients, and there's something else that I'd really like to do, which is to stockpile a load of these in a chest, as we're going to need them in the future for creating one-offs like this. You need 30 for that one, and then 5 for those, which will probably craft once and never again. So good idea to stockpile some in a chest. We'll do that with a filter inserter here. Oh, and just like these machines, you can right click and left click when holding shift to copy the settings across. That's fantastic. If you do that from a machine like this over here to a filter inserter, it'll then take the components that go inside it and put that there. So that's useful to know as well. And while we're on the topic of all of this, I had quite a few comments from people pointing out that I could make the crafting even harder. So in here now, you have to press Control, Shift and Alt to do a craft. So basically, I'm never going to make a mistake when I'm in this crafting window. So we're going to be hobbling along here with materials coming through because the plastic input is kind of slow. It gets down to this machine here, at least. Anyway, we're going to produce our potions. So rather than thinking about having a crazy optimal layout to get them all out, we're just going to have a couple here for now. We're also going to make use of long-handed inserters, as we will do in a moment. So all the ingredients can now go in to these, and they will start making the potions. But very, very slowly. I've also managed to pick up a few of these by mistake, so we'll chuck them in there for now. Anyway, those potions are going to head down here onto this belt. You can see we doubled up the belts, and that means that we just need long-handed inserters on either side as well. And then they're going to pass them all the way across. Here come the first potions. I guess now what we can do is actually activate. By the way, when you open the screen, it pauses the game, as I learned. I left it open when I thought I was doing research once, and I came back and I was like, oh, that's not good. So we want to go in here, and we could either do that one first, or what was the other one? It was this one, of course, but we need those potions first, which is why we are doing that one. So 250 potions are required, and who knows what's going to happen now, because materials are going to get eaten up for these potions from the belt over here, and hopefully we'll still be able to provide this area with all the materials it needs. And I doubled it up because it's not fast enough. Maybe we do actually have enough red circuits to make this a lot more. I mean, if we know that how many of these are running, 4 out of 6, then I guess we could treat that like 2/3. If this takes 12, then 2/3 of that is 8, right? So in theory, I could double up what we've got here. You know what, if we're going to make 8, we might as well make 12. So this is the proper full layout right here. And all it requires now is a belt coming down the other side, and it's nice and compact and all of that stuff. And down here, we're going to let this thing do its thing, but we'll just run that through there and then have it join at this spot. Alright, that's it. All we can do now is wait, I guess, and maybe look for some inefficiencies here, like perhaps we need more of these circuits going through to that side. So probably what we'd want to do is expand this thing upwards another block, although my plastic line is in the way. Oh, that is this game through and through right there. Okay, and there it is. We've got a modular design here, so it's nice and easy to expand, and that'll improve the production, yeah, I guess, the input over here by a couple of circuits. Be nice if we could shimmy some from that side over to here like we did for this line, but I don't think we're going to have the wiggle room for it. Right, what we should actually be turning our attention to is the new type of potion that we're about to unlock. Yes, about to being a key word. So it only needs 2 ingredients. We are producing engines over here, so we need to get some lubricant down to this area, and of course we've already got the green circuit. So we'll bring that into this space with some lubricant and we can produce that. Then the other one might be a little bit trickier, I'm not sure. It is electronic furnaces. More steel and stone bricks. Well, the stone bricks will be quite simple because we've got stone up here and we'll run it through a furnace array. But we don't want to like have 2 sets of arrays, right? Maybe I can find a way to pinch some of this steel and bring it across. I am noticing that we could use this side of the belt to put that material on and bring it through to this area. That sounds like a good idea, but there's also pipes on here, so maybe we'll have to do that with a filter inserter. Okay, there we go. We got those materials, so anything is possible. I can start to clear this now. I'm going to leave a little bit of it in place because this thing is still producing potions for us. Look at this. Satisfaction is lowering. We're going to have to go and put more engines in. Let's check out our pollution on the mini-map. It is spreading and we can see where alien bases are, so we're not going to aggravate anything just yet. Wow, the radars have revealed a lot in this area. I was also thinking about how we've kind of skipped over doing military research. We could be continuing to upgrade ourselves and make our fights more effective. So that might be a priority once we've unlocked our automation level 3, although I have other priorities as well. And really it's just a balance of how much can we get away with inside this little starter area before the aliens become a problem. And so far they haven't been. We are also starting to develop a clear shortage in copper, it looks like. Yeah, so I think we should also go and buff up our copper input, which means grabbing a few more miner drills and installing a few more furnaces. One of the things that's going to happen with our current setup is eventually the light oil and the heavy oil here fill up, and then this thing can't produce anymore because it's got nowhere to send it. We could destroy a tank and replace it. That works. Later on we'll have a correct ratio, so we'll never run into that problem. But right now we need to make the lubricant, and I am just going to put this thing here. We don't really need to think this through, so it's going to take heavy oil and turn it into lubricant. That is super simple. So we will put a power cable there, and then we will ship it across to where we're going to manufacture these advanced engines. If we are trying to get our ratios correct, we want 10 of these in total, but I've got a feeling our factory really won't be able to keep up with that. So what we would do is have a layout like this, create a blueprint for it, and make it tileable. Probably a good idea to put in the inserters first, but that is essentially it. I guess you could have a space in between if you wanted to have a power cable, which would make more sense of why there are these little gaps here, but we also want to be able to walk through there. So, I don't know, I might just actually make those normal pipes, you know. Oh, and of course, if I didn't mention it, yeah, when you have an assembling machine that needs a liquid, it opens up a entrance for it, and then you can connect to it with a pipe. Do you know, the entire time I've been working in this area, I've been progressively moving these over a little bit at a time and then taking them down. I might as well put them all the way over to the wall, and hopefully we can squeeze it in here. We've just got the electric furnaces to do, and then we'll be putting those into another set of assembling machines to make the potions. Now, as I start to make them, of course, I'm going to head back here and upgrade all of these as well. And I made a mess for myself, because when I upgrade these, I will need to put them on the other side of the belt. But here's the thing, I could have done that from the beginning and had long-handed inserters on this side so it was ready for the next step. But, you know, whatever. Doesn't really matter now. Alright, so as we do in this game, to try and get our ratios correct, we look at how long it takes to do a recipe, 5, and so therefore we would make 5 of these, so we get 1 every second. These take 14, and we could technically squeeze it going all the way up to the top, but by here I'm pretty sure we've lost out on our ratio, because the red chips over here are used for these potions, and their ratio is balanced for those, except we don't get enough plastic coming in. That's the thing. So when it comes around to this side, we're just, you know, using the excess. So what we'll probably find is that the system will have to continuously fill up with blue potions before enough goes around for the purple potions to come down. So the amount that we have here is probably negligible. I put 7 in, which is half the amount, and that's probably more than we need. But the electric furnaces have been fantastic. I've installed them over here, so now they're running off of power, and you know what that means. Satisfaction has been choppy again. Let's have a look over the last 10 minutes, and then over the last hour. And you know what, it's nice to actually have a look at this chart every now and then, isn't it? You can see like I had an AFK period over here where I wasn't doing too much, just researching. So yeah, we just got to put the inserters in, make this belt a little bit longer. Then on the opposite side, obviously the belt comes downwards. And then down here it's going to connect with this, and we can remove those bits. The other thing I wanted to show you is just up here, there are 2 electric furnaces. So this takes 3.5 to make, but we can double it because it's in an electric furnace, so 2 of them is enough to supply this for its demands. I should also get a few more chests in this area. Remember we put the red circuit chest down over here. I need to do that for some of these other materials, because this whole project is to make things available to us through the logistics network, which we're going to get to in the future. So I need to smuggle in a few extra chests here and there and make sure some of these things go into supply. So everything is good. A few chests have been added. You'll probably spot them here and there, like there for example, and we're stockpiling purple chests. Then I noticed that we stopped getting plastic, and that is because this is backed up, like I mentioned before, so I added an extra tank. And then I sort of thought, hang on a second, we're making petroleum here. Are we actually making enough of it? Oh no! Okay, well my thought was that maybe we could have 2 of these, but of course, I think I went through the ratio earlier, you can only have 1. So, never mind, never mind. Alright, we have done a lot. This is kind of crazy, right? All of this setup here. I think we're now just ready to get these potions going. Science packs. I got some comments about that. I like to call them potions, just because they look like potions. Anyway, sending them down here. We've already selected automation free. We might have actually stockpiled enough to get this, which is fantastic. And then we'll have to make some clever decisions about what it is we're going to actually pick out to research after we've done this. Anyway, there they go. They're doing the research. They're doing the thing. The whole factory is probably going to come to its knees now as we create like a backlog of things that need to be activated. And there goes the satisfaction. Look at that. You can see it steady, and then we start research, and then everything is peaked again. Our automation has finished. We've now unlocked the assembling machine free, which requires speed modules, and I feel like we're starting to get to the point where things are getting a little bit too spaghetti and a bit too hectic for our needs. Over here I've been re-wrangling all of this stuff. You can probably see a bit of mess over here from where I've swapped the sides to try and create space. We are automatically creating roboports, which is a fantastic thing, and I want to move on to logistics soon. So I wanted to get these passive provider chests and storage chests set up over here, and then I'm moving these belts about, and we really want to get flying machines soon, but it's all becoming just a little bit crazy. But anyway, if I do grab some of these advanced circuits and green ones, we can just make up some of those speed modules in a assembling machine, and then we can start to make these tier 3s, which of course mean we make more oil refineries. So more spaghetti monstrosity, but it'll all make sense in the future. We now have the means to build these automatically and keep them stocked up. Very important that we do that. And then over here you can see we're getting ready to make the assembling machine, but not only that, I've got the things to make the oil refinery. Alright, so we've got our 4 speed modules. Those things are slow to make, ironically. Now we've got the assembling machine, and if we plop it down over here, we can make our oil refinery, and I have all of the ingredients. I believe I have all of them. I should have all of them, because I could see that I could craft it in my inventory. And there we go, we're over the last hump. Now, everything from here on out shouldn't be too difficult with this crafting challenge. It is dark around here. Let's put down a lamp. We've set up the other oil refinery. Really what I should do at this point is, you know, a proper ratio setup factory. But we're near the end of this video now. I just desperately wanted to double up the amount of plastic that we're making. And we're not getting a lot of petroleum in here. And I'm an idiot. Look. Look, I made a big mistake. Okay, it's a bit of a botched up mess, but shimmied it around a little bit, got the tanks in here, which is important. One of these filled up again at one point. There we go, we've doubled the plastic, which means essentially, I think, doubling the amount of these. Okay, this has been an absolute success. We've gotten to exactly where I want to be, and what we need to think about next is how to get logistics up and running, but I don't know if that'll be our immediate plan for the next episode. Everything is going good over here, and so we can wrap it up. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. As always, thanks for the support, and I'll see you soon with another episode. Bye bye.